Shout out to Quatre, man. Came through with the deliveries, man. Look at this, man. Oh my goodness. Hold up. Got Shorty. Look at this. Yeah, this guy's a madman. Goat shit. Goat shit, man. That's still dope. Holy shit, man. Do I get into did I get into Danny and Av? Man. That's almost like I feel like when you see an announcement like that, like you almost forget that that battle hasn't happened. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in the back of my mind I feel like that happened already. Like it's like a weird matchup that's been right there, especially with how like you know how a lot of battles get like set up through like typecasting, you know what I mean? Schemer versus the schemer, puncher versus puncher, angle guy versus angle guy. Like I feel like it's like how was this not booked yet? And did they ever talk about battling each other? Is that ever I don't remember, man. I don't even remember. So it's really interesting. Like it's crazy how like right in front of my face that battle was, and it just I don't remember it ever. You know what I mean? I could have swore it happened, but it hasn't, and it's happening. And I guess we gotta predict it. I mean, two of the best punchers, but I don't know when I mentioned this. I don't know if it was last week on Battle Rap 101. It was a few days ago, I think. Um, and I said I don't know if it was I don't know who we were talking about. I think we were talking about a puncher, and I said I'd be interested to ask them how they feel about there's something really prestigious about getting labeled as like a person. You know what I'm saying? Like when the Shotgun Suge battle happened with me, that was when out of nowhere people started saying that I had a crazy pen game. And no one had ever really said that before, but it started to creep in, and then I became the pen person. I became like the pattern person and all that stuff. Um, and although it's not highlighted as much as other people are for their accolades, like Danny's known as a puncher. I wonder how that feels to him because he has more than just punching ability, and he does more in the setups to the punch to just say that he's a puncher. And I feel the same way for Av. I feel the same way for Av. I feel like Av has grown so much that there's a lot of little like angles in his setups. I feel like he's gotten away from like movie references were the big thing when Av was out. You know what I'm saying? Like when Av was doing a lot of movie references, and even Nitty, man. Like remember like the movie reference thing was fire. Av gets personal now. He gets very personal. And you got to understand like what makes like personal punching or angle punching so good is that when you're usually setting up an angle, you usually rely on the shock value of the angle itself to take you home when it comes to getting reactions. It's very rare that you're speaking about something that is true or is true, but you're battle rapping it and like kind of twisting it and doing this and doing that. It's very rare that you actually find a real heavy punch or you're even thinking about it. You're just thinking about like talk to him. Both of them talk to people when they rap, and I can't even like they're punchers, but I can't even like I feel like they've evolved past that. They've evolved past that. And this is gonna be a crazy one, man. I just feel like I don't know. I think it comes down to man. I feel like one of the advantages that you would have on both of them is that maybe if you're so different than them in your approach to your rounds, that the repetitiveness of just punching every 2 bars, punching every 4 bars starts to wear off towards the second round and the third round, and that's when you take advantage. And that's how I set it up with Danny. I went punch heavy in the first. You guys know I usually empty the kitchen. I usually empty the fucking. I empty the tank in the first round. Usually, I'm usually very punch heavy, very attack, very like not generic, but just like a lot of random like setups. And then as I went on with Danny, it was an angle, and then I even kept angling into the third round and tying in punch, just being different in hopes that his the way he structures things would teeter off. You can't do that with both of them because they're both really the same. I don't know, maybe there's just something about Danny. I think Danny has done it more. I think he's had better performances. He definitely has more experience. Av is a killer. Um, man, I mean, I Danny. I gotta go Danny. I have to go Danny. I could go Av. I mean, obviously. I know maybe not obviously to some people because a lot of people are, what have you done for me lately? Maybe, and I guess if you're judging Av's last couple performances, B dot head ice, a little rocky here and there, but if you're going off of Danny, obviously what he did with Tay Rock, and then having an amazing battle with Sharon too, debatable battle as well. It'd be easier to pick Danny, but I'm going off of more of just experience, man. Experience. Yes, for sure. He seems like the more evolved artist right now. He seems like he's evolved himself more than Av has, maybe. I don't know, man. I don't want to make one seem less than the other, man. I always say, man, we're all killers, man. We're all killers. Av could beat the shit out of Danny. I know I always say that. I know I don't need to say that either. I know I don't need to say that in these videos because I know there's no harm, no foul if you really know what I'm about. Like, I don't have an ill intent when it comes to talking about people on battles, but sometimes I do try to find the difference, find the reason as to, well, why do you have X beating X? Maybe I have to highlight something that I think the other guy has an advantage over. But nonetheless, man, this is going to be a crazy battle in Atlanta. I feel like the Atlanta crowds are always good, man, and I think just I've enjoyed the Caffeine, man. I battled Saga. It was a great battle. Me and Ryder was a great battle. Actually, no, it wasn't in that Caffeine setting, the Ultimate Madness tournament. But Saga, Lou Castro, real sick. I had a great time there. But it is good to just see URL on their travel game. You know what I'm saying? Road trips, nonetheless. We used to be stationed in New York, in the East. Now we're stationed in the West. It's good to be back out towards the East. It's good. And I feel like it's healthy as well because then you kind of get a repetitiveness in being in the same studio, in the same setting. All the cards might feel the same, but I feel like at this point the Caffeine setting is kind of just set up for the smaller ones, the super fights, the band, maybe the volumes, even though those are big. But I've noticed that all our biggest shows are we take them back on the road, so it's good to be back on the road. I have Danny Myers 2-1. I can never give a 3-0 at this point, and you guys know what happens, man. Battle rap is battle rap, and then Chess and Calico, I'll probably touch on another time. But I'm excited for Danny and Av, man. Excited for Danny and Av, man. It's gonna be crazy, dude. It's gonna be fucking crazy, man.